Hey everyone, it's Cecil. Just wanted to make this video. It's a political post as usual. I thought I would make a video about what's going on right now, February, the 11th, and not write some multi-paragraph long ranty post. I thought this moment in time is deserving of a little bit more. So of course, as you would assume, this is about the impeachment and potential conviction of our former president. And there's just a couple of little bullet points, little highlights I wanted to highlight, and hopefully do it in less than some 15, 20 minutes. So anyway, after the election, President Trump is losing his mind because his weird narcissistic personality cannot handle a loss like that. And all this stuff about it being stolen is 100% absolute nonsense. I mean, has anyone on his end supporting him ever noticed that we've never had an election so fraught like this ever in our past, where the other side is being accused of stealing an election, which just didn't happen? I mean, the guy went through every single legal opportunity, every single legal avenue he had, and lost every single one. Even when it came to Trump-appointed judges sitting over those cases, those legal proceedings. It is crazy that the supporters have ignored all of that. And you can't. It's unacceptable to do that. Unless you don't believe in anything that has to do with our justice system whatsoever, you can't. So anyway, the point really is to go all the way from it just being our president quite literally taking the country through hell after a legitimate election and ending up on January 6th, where for me, I don't know about you, but before this year, before Donald Trump, I have never, ever heard of January 6th in my life. Never have I thought I needed to sit glued to the TV on January 6th on any other year in my 36 years on this planet. And I think that just can't go without saying. Were it not for Trump, January 6th would be another day on the calendar. It'd be such a perfunctory, process date in our elections that none of us knew about. But now we will forever know January 6th. And that also then goes to say that were it not for Donald Trump, no, there wouldn't have been some attack on our democracy, literally the Capitol, the symbol of our democracy. It just wouldn't have happened. Were it not for Trump, and were it not for the 2 months of him just spreading such lies and propaganda because he couldn't handle a loss, and because he basically faces tons of financial issues and legal issues once he doesn't have presidential immunity. That's all this is about. The guy, first of all, can't face a loss, and of course his life is going to basically kind of suck after leaving the presidency, and he didn't want to do it. And that being said, I just think there's just no way you can say that what happened that day would have happened either way. You don't have hashtags and quotes and chants like "Stop the Steal," which is all for Donald Trump. Then there is no march and attack where people are chanting "Hang Mike Pence" and kill Nancy Pelosi, and quite literally hunting them down and saying that they will. There have been many interviews by a lot of the people arrested by the FBI where the people arrested said, yes, we were there for Donald Trump, and we can see them on video saying fight for Trump, fight for Trump. I don't think if you are anyone who does not support Trump, you could ever look at that and say our president is responsible for what happened that day. And I just can't not reiterate how much that day wouldn't even be a part of our social consciousness were it not for this presidency. And I gotta tell you, watching the TV that day, which I've never done in my entire life, watch the news about an election on that day, I was actually afraid that something would happen. I mean, before it happened, I think most people kind of on the left or whatever you want to say, we're watching to see if that day would be carried out as routinely as it has been for, decades upon decades until Donald Trump. So I'm watching. I'm kind of like, oh my God, is something going to happen? Which again, I cannot say enough. I've never had that thought. Is something going to happen on January 6th? But you're watching, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this might happen. This is going through. I think I see Vice President Pence walking up to the podium and doing whatever it is he's supposed to do that I never knew it even existed. It looks like it's gonna go through. To even have to have that thought and that worry wouldn't exist without Donald Trump. And it looked like we were gonna have a smooth day without anything happening, and then slowly the noise started happening, and then footage outside of the rally that Donald Trump had planned, that had originally been planned for a different date, but Donald Trump moved it to that day when it would be counted. Then shit started happening, and because of who and what? Donald Trump. And I think people need to realize a conviction on an impeachment trial it's not a criminal. It's not a criminal conviction. This is not an actual criminal trial. This is different. It really is just one to say, you know, was the president responsible for this? And no, you don't need to actually prove it beyond a benefit of a doubt. He's not being criminally indicted. And there's just no doubt. Like, how do you say January 6th? How do you say any of that happened where people are chanting, stop the steal and fight for Trump? It's right there in their words, fight for Trump. They're going after Mike Pence because he won't do what President Trump says, even though the guy has been such a loyalist to Donald Trump. Shows you how much even one word or one tweet can get somebody in serious trouble. If Donald Trump's tweets can get somebody like Mike Pence in serious trouble and his life in danger, and can also ruin and end the careers, as most people cheer on who support Donald Trump, can ruin the careers of politicians, ruin the careers of fellow Republicans, how could it not incite January 6th? How would it not? You can ruin somebody's career that they've built for 10, 20, 30 years before you ever came on the political stage. You can ruin it in one or two tweets, but you can't incite what clearly you did. That is BS. And those of you who support Donald Trump, you know it. It's BS. January 6th happened. The attack on our Capitol happened because of Donald Trump. There's no way. And I'm going to read this too. I wrote this down. This is what Donald Trump tweeted at 6 p.m. After basically people just destroyed the Capitol and went after politicians to potentially murder them, to actually stop their steal. They were there to stop the steal. So here's Donald Trump's tweet. These are the things and events that happen when a sacred landslide election victory is so unceremoniously and viciously stripped away from great patriots who have been badly and unfairly treated for so long. Go home with love and in peace. Remember this day forever. So after all of that violence, cops getting killed, people chanting, hang Mike Pence, roaming the hallways, destroying things, stealing stuff, Donald Trump doesn't say this shouldn't have happened. Donald Trump doesn't condemn it. Donald Trump does not say this is a shameful moment, it should never happen again. He's happy about it. Donald Trump says, go home with love and in peace after that day of chaos and mayhem and destruction. This is what the President of the United States says. That guy has successfully moved the goalpost and our collective acceptance of what it means to be a public figure, let alone the president. He's moved it so far left field that is acceptable. I don't think that's acceptable for any damn actor to say after a day like that. But Donald Trump can say, as the president who's supposed to protect and serve us all and protect the Capitol, after that day of chaos and mayhem, he says, remember it forever, as if it's supposed to be revered. Not remember it forever, it should never happen again. Come on. Come on. The guy should be convicted. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Anyway, this is long enough. It's been 8 minutes. I'm sure you only watched 2 minutes of it, but I just cannot believe we're about to see, and I almost guarantee it, we're about to see a president like him get away with what he's done to us and what he's done for the 2 months between the election and January 6th. That is insane, and it sends a message to future generations and future politicians. What a shame. Thanks for listening.